Meet Ringo. He's 6 years of age, and over the course of this video, I'll be attempting to teach him how to sit on command, especially around meal times. I took this clip right before I gave Ringo dinner. Every night he's fed a gravy-based dinner, which is his favourite food. I raise my hand, I ask him to sit, and within a couple of seconds he complies, so he is rewarded with dinner. This happens every night without fail. Gravy dinner, stand by his bowl, raise my hand, ask him to sit, and then he complies. However, if the mealtime is switched over to breakfast, as seen here in this clip, it can take quite a while before Ringo is comfortable with complying. There's two reasons for this. One, Ringo isn't actually formally trained on how to sit and the commands associated with it. Also, for breakfast, Ringo is given a weight management kibble diet. It's not as appetizing as gravy, and it takes quite a while for him to sit. Even then, he's not too happy with the selection. So we decided to start training. The first technique I tried was luring. I'd get the treat, lure it above Ringo's head, and when he performed the sit, I'd give him the treat. As you can see, I then asked him to move out of the sit position, would lure him back into a sit, and then reward him again. This felt a bit clunky, and I felt like I wasn't really getting across the message that sit is what I was after to Ringo. As I was having trouble training Ringo with luring techniques, I went online and looked up how are other people training their cats to sit on command. I found one very helpful video from Sophia Yin where she trained her adult cat to sit. The technique she used was capturing, which is displayed here. Instead of luring Ringo into a sit, I wait for it to naturally happen and then reward the behaviour. Although my timing with treats and the positioning of where I put them for him weren't perfect, he seemed to be getting the message a lot better. Sophia Yin also spoke about counter-conditioning your cat, meaning that if I move around and he tries to follow me and rub up against me, I wouldn't give him any attention and I'd simply walk away. When he would perform the sit position, then I'd treat this behaviour. It didn't take too long before Ringo realised no matter where I was in the room, he should just sit politely and wait for my attention. This is a vast difference to his normal behaviour, as he's quite an affectionate cat and loves following you no matter where you are. Considering this is our first training session with the new technique, I was quite impressed to see that only twice Ringo really broke the sit position. Later that night when I was studying, I realised Ringo patiently sitting by my feet wanting attention. This was quite unusual, as normally Ringo would jump up when he wanted my attention. I rewarded the behaviour and let him know that he was doing good by sitting there patiently waiting. The longer he sat, the more I decided to reward him with affection. As soon as he took his butt off the floor, you can see I stopped that affection. And as soon as he put it back down, the affection continued. The next day, I decided to move into a new space and see if the training was working just as well. By proofing this around different parts of the environment, it really solidified to Ringo what was correct behaviour and what was undesirable. His responses to sitting happened a lot quicker. Even as I moved around the room and tried to distract him, he managed to maintain the position. This clip was taken first thing in the morning, where Ringo's used to getting his breakfast. Rather than serve him his breakfast, I got him to wait patiently by the cupboard where his food is kept, and we conducted a quick training session. I was amazed at how he was politely waiting rather than scratching up on the cupboard like he normally would. The longer he held the sit position, the more treats I gave him. And now it was time to put all our training into practice. As you can see, I've grabbed Ringo's food bowl and I'm about to give him breakfast. A meal he isn't too crazy about. Pulled out his bag of dry food, and even though he's not crazy about it, normally his reaction would be to come, rub up against my legs, stretch up onto the counter and meow loudly. As I put him in his bowl and saw that he was still sitting, I was quite surprised. But the food treats definitely helped. So here we go. And success. He's managed to sit, and even though he's not too impressed about the dry diet, at least he politely waited for it.